next time.
That was married or in another relationship. I don't know what the case may be, but this man lied. Everything that has happened to me, this man said that it would happen. He said he would get my kids taken. He said I would be in a shelter, and all that has occurred. All of it. This man has threatened my life. This man has called my phone numerous times. I've gotten my number changed so many times. This nigga has called my phone saying, do I want a plane? You gotta eat the rainbow. You can't eat food with gluten in it. You can't eat meat because we're playing a game. And in order to get your kids back, you have to do what I tell you to do, so that on the deadlines on Christmas, and Christmas was one of the main deadline that they were supposed to get my child back. They were supposed to give Arie back. People think I'm lying about my daughter. Think I'm lying about the whole story. The truth is the truth, whether you believe it or not. Jesus set my soul free. If I'm lying, I can only express, and I can only be real about what I know. And this is my story. I have been terrorized. I have been threatened. My kids got taken for no reason. No reason. When my daughter went missing, the detectives brought me in the room and they told me, they said, because I was exposing the government and I was telling them all about 9/11 and just different stuff. The detective Delp called me in the room with an FBI agent. He told me, he said, Andrew Terry has your baby, but we want you to be quiet about it. So with me speaking about this, they're going to bring the charges back up on him. I don't care. That's what y'all told me. Y'all are ruining my life. Like, where is my baby? Like, where is my baby? Y'all are literally ruining my life. Y'all told me that. Y'all told me he had my baby. So why, when I speak out about it and talk out about it, he get mad at me? I can't help what they told me. And then, by the way you're acting, you came over my house and told me to give up my house, told me that Salem needed work, that Cleveland needed work done, that you were a part of some mob organization. You told me that. So why, when I speak out about it, I'm so in the wrong and I look fucking crazy? Well, would it be crazy if I gave my children's father your address and told him where the fuck you stay? Because you got my kids taken. And from the way that it seems, the detective telling me that you got Arie. That you got her. But I'm crazy. But I'm crazy for speaking the truth. I got people against me. I'm not afraid to walk the streets. I'm not afraid what may happen to me because I know the truth. I know who you are. You could talk to Mallory all day long and get your point across or get your lies straight, your story. That's your fake ass story that you got everybody believing. But you were coming over my house. We were fucking. We conceived Arie. Why you trying to deny it all? You are a fucking liar. You are a fucking coward. And you make me sick. I hope you fucking die. And if my children's father looking at this, I hope you give a fuck about your kids. I hope you care about your kids. Do not let your kids stay in that fucked up ass system. Everything I'm saying, though, is a fucking lie. That's how you make it seem, Andrew Terry, but it's not. It's not. You threatened me with your guns last night. You said you was gonna do this. You said you was gonna do that. Well, I'm fucking ready. I'm down here downtown at the library right now. If you want me, come get me. We can square this shit out. Let's get it over with. Cause there is a thin line, and that is a true saying. It is a thin line between love and hate. And you say I'm doing all this because you don't want me. I don't want you. I never did. I never wanted you. Never fucking wanted you. Ever since you told the detectives that I beat my baby to death and you buried her, what the fuck? Get the fuck on with that shit. Get the fuck on with that shit. Like, be for real. You lied on me. You said I beat my baby and you buried her. I don't give a fuck how the world sees me. I don't give a fuck about nobody's fucking opinion about me. They talked about Jesus. What I do care though is about my kids. I love my kids with all my heart. When you mess with them, all I can say is you better pray. Because those are my babies. Those are my babies. I don't got nobody else to talk to, but I'm on a book, documenting my life, documenting my story, advocating for my daughter, because I'm not stuck in fear anymore. I'm not stuck in fear. I'm not in fear anymore. I'm not fearful that something is going to happen to me. I know that I'm a part of nature. I know that Mother Earth loves me and that I am special and I am gifted, and nobody's going to silence me. Nobody's going to silence me. Not when it comes to my children. Not when it comes to my daughter. No one's going to silence me. Not even Antichrist. Not even Antichrist. Antichrist is not going to silence me. That's sad what happened to my children's grandmother. That really is sad. I should have knew what I know about the system, what I know about the Illuminati and all that, the pedophile elites, what I knew about that with me and my children's father, when he used to do his, look at his videos and stuff, and he used to, find out about the Illuminati and stuff, all the evil satanic stuff that they were doing. He really opened my eyes, awakened me to some things, how people were sacrificing their souls to the devil and stuff. And I guess when I start posting all that stuff on my page, my daughter mysteriously come up missing. And then a detective on the case tells me that Andrew Terry has my baby, and to don't say anything about it, to keep quiet that my life was in danger. They told me not to get on the media. They told me not to talk to anybody, so I didn't, because I thought, I was scared to talk to anybody. And then they came over my house a couple times, and because a whole lot of stuff was going on in my community, I had people try to gang up on me. My family was mad at me. Everybody was mad at me when I walked through the hood, through the community. And my family told me to go downtown and turn myself in. And my children's father and his people came up here, and the police got caught on them a couple times, you all, because they came up here and tried to save my kids. The only family I know, I turned my back on them and didn't stand up with them when they came up here to get my kids and let my kids go to my rotten ass family. What type of family I got that let me be in a motherfucking shelter? Tell me that. What type of family I got that takes sides with this nigga and tell me to go turn myself in to the police station because I killed my baby? I ain't have to listen to y'all. I ain't never have to talk to the police. Never, because I ain't do shit wrong. Because I want them twisting my words up, twisting my story up into what they want it to be. Because that'll be another black woman gone down like they want. Like Andrew Terry, I don't know if you took my baby or not because I didn't see you take her. But with all these games and shit, all these phone calls you called, talking about some quit smoking cigarettes, eat the rainbow, don't eat no food, fast, and I give your baby back on Christmas, what's that about? What's that about? What's it about? Me looking at my spiritual videos, how to avoid the book of genocides, the new world order coming into play. What's that about? Giving up my house because I'm looking at those videos. Like, I'm the idiot. I'm the fool. I should have never believed anything you said. Anything. Just because I want to stand in my truth, I'm crazy and I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I'm crazy though. Nobody believes me. Everybody want to say that I killed my baby because you told that bullshit ass story. You told that bullshit ass story. You said I beat my baby to death and you buried her. And you buried her. You ruined my fucking life. And I hope you fucking die. It ain't about being with you. It never was about being with you. It's always been about my daughter. And now it's about my 4 kids. My 4 kids. It's about them. And I'm gonna make sure you fucking pay. Cause bitch, you gonna get what you deserve. You're not gonna threaten me. You're not gonna make me look crazy anymore. You're not gonna try to take me down. You're not gonna destroy my life. You're not gonna do that to me. I am somebody. I am human. I am somebody. I am human. I am beautiful. You can't destroy me. You can't. You can't.
Andrew Terry will go before a jury in 2 weeks. He's charged with concealing a body. Arienna still has not been found, but more details may soon come out in court.
It's Thanksgiving, it's time for family. We're soon into the Christmas season. There'll be some little one not at the table this year.
That was Roanoke Police Chief Tim Jones's desperate plea last November for someone to tell the truth of what happened to Arienna Day. The 3-month-old was reported missing, and immediately the details were sketchy.
Do you have anything you'd like to say at all, Mr. Terry?
Y'all have a blessed day.
10 News was working for you when Arienna's father, Andrew Terry, was in court last fall. He led police to these train tracks in the Ellett area of Montgomery County, saying he buried the infant here. He says Arienna's mother gave him the baby bruised and clinging to life. Arienna allegedly died on the way to Blacksburg, but police never found anything.
This is very painful for me because I don't know if she's living. I don't know where she's at. It's painful for my family. So I'm reaching out for help.
Arienna's maternal grandmother was desperate for answers last fall and continues to say her daughter, Jessica Day, Arienna's mother, is innocent. Jessica Day told police the baby went missing from her home, but police found no sign of entry. But later in court, she admitted that she didn't want another child and feuded with the father. On the 1-year anniversary of this, Roanoke police posted this picture of Arienna, hoping for info for a safe return. But they've said in the past, evidence points to her no longer being alive. Andrew Terry faces charges of concealing a dead body. His jury trial starts in 2 weeks.
Now, Roanoke police went above and beyond on this. They even partnered with a forensic investigator from the University of Tennessee, which was something that they had not done before. They were tight-lipped about what kind of work was happening, only saying that the technology that they were using was very new. We never did, however, hear anything else about that work or what the investigator discovered, if anything. Live in the studio, Shane Dwyer, 10 News, working for you.
Okay, family. Next, we're going to review a video between Jessica Day and Rhoda Day Live. Shout out to Rhoda. This is fair use, fair use.
Your daughter went missing, Arienna.
Into it.
What happened and what was she doing?
That day, Arienna, I had took Arienna to her WIC appointment with her godmother. We had got back. The alleged father had came out. I'm not going to give. It's been 4 years ago since my daughter vanished. I could tell you everything that happened that day, but I can't give specific times. I'm not going to go into time.
Don't go into times, because you go into times, then people go start calculating different things. Tell us what happened.
So I took Arienna to the WIC office that day with her godmother. And after we came back from the WIC office, Arienna, I breastfed Arienna. I was trying to have her on natural milk, and that's what I did. On times that because I was parenting 4 other kids at the time, I would try to substitute my milk to canned milk. And I know that the canned milk is no good. I know that wasn't going to work, because either it was going to make her tummy upset or she just wasn't going to drink it. So sometimes she did drink it and it made her tummy upset. So her alleged father came over after the WIC appointment, shortly after, and she was crying terribly. She was upset because her stomach was hurting because I had gave her canned milk, because I felt like my milk wasn't coming out fast enough, but it really was. But
Can I stop you for a second? I breastfed 3 kids. One I told her breastfeed, the other 2 I learned not to tell her breastfeed them. I supplemented with canned milk. So giving them Similac, you didn't do anything wrong. If I had to go to work or I was busy, I supplemented my breast milk with canned milk. So I don't want you to feel like you was less than a mother because you didn't told her breastfeed. So her tummy was hurting and her father came over.
Her alleged father came over. And I breastfed her. That's all I did was breastfed her. But sometimes when I was in a rush, I would use canned milk. Or sometimes when I didn't, when I needed to get something done, I would use canned milk. But I breastfed 24/7. That was my thing. That was how me and her bonded. That was our bond right there. And could you imagine just breastfeeding, having that connection? Because people who don't breastfeed don't know that connection, right? They don't know nothing about that connection, that breastfeeding connection. That is one of the most precious, most valuable gifts you can have when you breastfeed your child. I mean, you're that bond. That bond is just so, I can't even explain it. But
right.
So her alleged father came over, and he was sitting on the couch, and I couldn't get Arienna to calm down. So he took her and patted her back put her flat on the bed and was patting her back to sleep. He finally got her to sleep or whatever. Then he left. And her godmother came over. And after she came over to check on Arienna, she told me to keep my door locked. So me and Andrew was going back and forth. The text started.
Let me stop you there. Let me stop there. Why would her godmother ask you to keep your door locked? Why would she say that?
Because I told
my child's godmother what was going on between the alleged father and me. I told her that he was married, that I found out that he was, well, I didn't find out that he was married. He always told me that he was with her. That was not the issue. The issue was that the baby is now here. But the issue started way back when I had got pregnant with him. So I told her about the story.
Okay, let's stop there. What issue went on with you and the baby alleged father?
My sister, I told her that he wasn't being active and he wasn't being supportive. And I told her that he said that he didn't believe that he was the father. So she contacted his wife, his child's mother, whatever she is to him. And after she contacted her and told her that I was pregnant, he came over in my house in complete rage, just somebody I didn't even know. Me and my son was in the shower. I heard somebody come in my house and slam the door. And I hurry up and jumped out the shower, and I went and looked around my house to see who came in my house. I did not see anybody. So I got back in the shower with my son because my daughter had a clinic appointment that morning that we were trying to get ready for. So when I got back in the shower, he comes in the bathroom. He grabs me by my neck, lifts me up out first he says, "Can you tell your son to leave the bathroom?"
How old was your son?
My son was, I think my son was 4 at the time.
Okay.
My son was 4 at the time. And I was terrified of his face. I'm like, "Look, son, leave the bathroom and go get dressed." So my son leaves the bathroom. Terry then takes me by my neck, lifts me up off the floor by my neck and throw me up against the wall and say, "Why did I call his MFing baby, his kid's mother?" And he was just, I don't know what, all I heard is, "Why did you call her?" And then he put me on the floor by my neck and pulled down his pants and pulled down his private and made me give him oral.
Wow. And that's why you was pregnant?
No, this was after Arienna was born.
But you just said that.
No, you said let's go back to what was the problem when you were pregnant, right? Didn't you just say that?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. So that's why I was explaining. That's where the problem came in when I was pregnant.
Oh, so when you was pregnant because the fact that I got lost somewhere. You just lost me somewhere.
No,
let me say this. I asked you. You said the girl told you keep the door locked, and I asked you why would she tell you that?
Yes.
And so you said that because of
I was telling you what was going on.
The fact that you found
out,
yeah, I'm a great listener. You said the fact that that the alleged father was married and he had a girlfriend, and that you said you knew about her, the girlfriend or the wife or whatever it may be, baby mother. You said some issues came about because you said it was the daughter godmother. Did you change and said your sister called and said that called the wife or the baby mother and told them that you was pregnant, and then you turned around and said, "Yeah, I was in the shower and he choked you," and that was the issue.
No, you were saying, why would you asked me? You said, "Why would she tell you to lock your door?" And I said, because when I was pregnant with Arienna, when I had gotten pregnant with Arienna, I was telling her all that I was going through with the alleged father. She knew what was going on.
Okay. Well, I just want to make sure we don't mislead nobody. We good over here.
Yeah.
I'm not here, like I said, I want to make sense. Me and you good. I just want nobody to take what you're saying and turn it around. So I'm making sure if they feel like saying they misled, so I want to make sure I clear it up so they won't come in.
Yes, ma'am. And I'm not getting smart. I just want to, because I'm used to talking to people and I'm used to them twisting up what I'm saying. And I'm like, that's not what I'm saying at all. Why are you twisting my words? So it wasn't very urgently that I told her.
Right.
I wanted him to tell her, but but when I was telling my sister how he was treating me, she was like, "No, girl, don't let him treat you like that. I'm going to call his baby mama and we're going to get this straight."
He ain't that perfect man you think he is. my sister over here pregnant. You might want to know this business. So we found out
Yeah.
she become angry, bitter because at rage, because y'all let the cat out the bag. So now the baby, you have the baby.
Now I have the baby, and he's coming over, but I want to I want to say something before we talk about when she arrived. When he, like, after all that went down, like, me and him were just constantly arguing and just having sex, arguing and having sex, arguing and having sex. So he sent some messages to my phone threatening me, saying that if Arienna was his, he was going to take her, and that I would never see her, that I would never know her. Nobody knows. Every time I talk about this conversation that me and Terry had, everybody's quick to say, oh, it didn't happen. It's all in my head, because I guess, he kept all the messages that I sent him. I guess if he was threatening me about taking my baby where I would never see her and stuff, I guess he had this all set up. Okay, so I'm gonna say all this threatening stuff to her. I'm gonna make sure I erase it so she can't back up her story, and she'll look like she crazy and she don't know what she's talking about. You know what I'm saying? So it's my focus is not on him. My focus is, where is my daughter? You know what I'm saying? That's where my focus is right now. But in order to talk about where's my daughter, we have to talk about everything that occurred between me and that man.
Let's take it to the streets. So
that's what it is, the streets.
Let's take it to the streets. So now, okay, the baby is here right now. He knows the possibility of being his baby, and in the way he wanted, but in the way he don't want it, because he already in a relationship. So then he allegedly threatening you to take the child from you, and that you'll never see the child again.
Yes.
After the child is born, how do you and him get along?
How excuse me?
After your daughter Arienna was born, how did your relationship and his relationship get along?
It was 1 minute we good, the next minute we're not, and it was just like, I don't want to let this man come over my house because he have said so many threats to me, but I want him to be a part of my daughter's life because I already have 4 kids that I'm taking care of my own. So it's like, dang, how do I get this man to step up and stop being so mean and help me out with Arienna? What do I do about it? Like, but then this part of me, that the higher self of me was saying, do not let this man over your house. Keep your doors locked. Take that man up for child support and just keep your doors locked. That's what my whole being was telling me. My intuition was telling me, but I did not listen. I kept being stupid and naive, thinking that, oh, he gonna step up. But no, he told me, he said that, he started saying that he automatically started saying he was denying her after his child's mother found out. He was denying her, saying that he even called her a B. I even have text messages, even have messages through messengers where he's calling her, saying that baby ain't mine. He didn't call me and say that little B ain't mine. But he told the officers that I called my daughter a B, and I never once called my daughter a B. That has came out of his mouth many times.
Wow. Have you ever picked Arienna up and took her out on a date?
No, he came over that day and he put her to sleep. That's the only time he interacted with her since she had been born, the whole 3 months. He never touched her. He never held her. But that day, I just found it odd that he put her to sleep, because he wasn't active in her life. He was just coming over, screwing me, and we were arguing about her the whole time. He never had a relationship with her. But that day that she vanished, I found this so weird that he...
Then after he leave, what happened?
After he left, Arienna was still asleep. My kids were now coming home from school. I was trying to help them with their homework and get dinner and stuff ready. After my kids had ate, the sinker now have dishes in it, and it's now I have stuff to do around the house. My house needs to be cleaned up. Why?
I thought you had a guest to come over after he left. A guest came over.
Yeah, I did have a guest to come over. She came over shortly at the door. She was at the door and she was like, let me look at my god baby. And she came in, looked at Arienna while Arienna was sitting in the little pink bouncer that I had for her. And she says, keep your door locked. So she left. I locked my door, and helping my kids with their homework, getting dinner and stuff, cleaning up after dinner, putting the dishes in the sink, and getting my kids ready for bed. You know, just normally daily routines.
How long was from the time your daughter's godmother came over, from the time you was washing dishes, did you leave Arienna in the living room by herself? How long do you think she was there by herself?
She wasn't in there by herself. She was in there with her siblings. Her siblings, they came home around about like 2-ish, 2:30-ish, 2:45. So she wasn't alone by herself.
What are the ages of your other kids?
My other kids at the time were 4, 7, 10, and 13 at the time. Well, my daughter's 14, 10. They were 4 years ago. So
they was really big kids. So you got 4 other kids. So Arienna made 5 kids?
Yes.
Okay, so you got 4 big kids, and you said they was in the living room with Arienna. That actually can tell you who walked in the house and took Arienna. And if they was in the living room with her, who did they say came in the house? You said a 10-year-old, maybe a 12-year-old. Who did they say came in the house and took Arienna?
They the whole thing about it when Arienna vanished that night.
No, let's go back. Arienna is per your conversation. Arienna is in the living room with her siblings. The minimum age is 10. They able to speak. They able to say who did they say took Arienna if they was in the living room with her?
I don't know. The detective that was investigating on the case, he told me that he got everything. The story that he gave me, he said that he got everything from my page. That's what he said. And he was saying that her alleged father.
Let's go to the ages of your kids now. What ages are your kids now?
The ages of my kids now are 14, 12, 9, and 7.
So we're looking at 14, a 10-year-old, 9, a 5-year-old, 7, 3, and I'm missing one. So we're looking at kids that's able to describe exactly what happened in that house. So you tell me that Arienna was on the couch. She was not in there by herself. Your 10-year-old, 7-year-old was in there. So they old enough to say, "Mommy, such and such opened the door," or somebody knocked on the door and walked into Arienna. When you ask your kids what happened to Arienna, what was their answer to you?
My kids didn't know anything had happened to Arienna because they were asleep when Arienna vanished. This was nighttime had then fell.
No, you said it was after school. They came home. It was right after school, 2 something in the afternoon. They came home, they ate, and they was all in the living room with her. And you in the kitchen to wash dishes, and she wasn't left alone. The kids wasn't there with her. You never said they was all sleeping there.
They were my bedroom and the living room were close by. So Arienna was in the living room with them, and then she was in the bedroom. And then I heard her in the kitchen with me. I was back and forth multitasking because of my other kids. Like it was homework to do, dinner time to do, all kind of stuff when she awoke. My daughter went missing at 9:35 that night. My kids were then asleep when she vanished. They knew nothing about her vanishing.
Okay, when that's the part you had left out. You said the kids, she was in there with the kids. As if she wasn't there by herself, but now you saying the kids were asleep. You got to make sure when you tell details, you tell them all. My kids and Arienna was sleeping in the living room together. That that's what. Okay, so therefore I didn't know they were asleep. So I'm still not coming at you. You just
no. They wasn't. Let me say this right. I don't know what's going on, but what I'm saying is that my kids got off the bus like at 2:30, 2:45-ish. When they got home, they were interacting with Arienna in the living room watching TV. I was back and forth in the kitchen, cleaning, doing all I had to do for my kids' parenting, multitasking, doing what I had to do. Then I brung Arienna in the kitchen with me and her bouncer. Then we went back in there with the kids. My kids are now, you know, they didn't ate, they didn't brush their teeth, wash their face. They are already in the bed when Arienna vanishes. We didn't had a whole day together. Me, my kids, and Arienna had a whole day together. Then that when night falls at 9:35, Arienna has now vanished, and I have to wake my kids up. And I don't want to tell them that Arienna just vanished. I don't even know what to tell my kids for real. Right. How do I even approach my kids with this? Wake them up out of their sleep and say, your sister is gone. You know, that's devastating.
That make a lot of sense to me, but that make a lot of sense. But you got to understand, you left out the part they was asleep. That's why the little confusion came. It make a lot of sense to me. Like I said, I'm non-biased. I'm just making sure we dot our I's and cross our T's.
Yes, ma'am.
Was the alleged baby father ever arrested for the disappearance of your daughter?
Yes.
Why was that?
Well, I just want to make it clear. What I know he was arrested for saying that this was the story he gave to the police. This is what the police told me, that I beat my baby to death and he buried her. So I guess he was in interrogation for that. He was in jail for that. He went to jail for saying that he did that, I guess. I don't know, but that's the story.
Have you ever beaten your baby, your newborn baby?
Excuse me?
Have you ever beaten your newborn baby?
No, not never.
Let me ask you, when you hit the baby, you ever heard anything called postpartum depression?
Yes.
Did you suffer through postpartum depression after you had your last child?
I probably did, but I did not beat my daughter.
And I don't think you did. I don't see it in you. I don't think you did.
No, I didn't. I would never, Miss Rhonda. I love kids. If I felt like I couldn't, handle Arienna, or I couldn't support Arienna, I would have gave her up for adoption. And I did reach out to an adoption agency. Or I would have had an abortion.
Let's talk about that. Allegedly, they said you was gonna give your daughter up for adoption, and allegedly the adoption agency was paying for things for you because they was under the impression that you was giving them the baby. What happened with that story?
What happened with that is that I did reach out to an adoption agency. They said they start paying my light bills. They start paying my rent. I was kind of skeptical about doing it. I'm like, I don't want to give up my baby, but maybe I can do it when she actually get here. So my sister, I know she tried it from experience, and she told me it was the worst thing she could ever do. But getting back to me, they were paying my rent, they were paying my electric, and they even sent for me and my kids to come out there for a hot Arienna so they could cover medical bills and different stuff like that. So I go to my kids' school and get everything I have to get straight with my kids' school, and then we head to Utah and the end of my 8th month pregnant, the end of 8 months of my pregnancy.
You lost me there. I was trying to get some light. Okay, so it was an agency plan. You was trying to give Arienna up for adoption. What made you decide to give her up for adoption? That was during the process of you being pregnant. What made you give her up?
Because I'm saying, like, here I done slept with this man, and this man is telling me that he's not the father. Like, what am I gonna do? Like, I can't. I'm gonna be struggling by myself. And I told my baby's godmother that. She said, well, you don't have to give your daughter up for an adoption. I will take her, and I help you raise her. And when Arienna got here, she was helping me support her. Arienna didn't have to really too much worry about nothing. Like, Arienna took over my room that she had so much stuff. I mean, she had shoes, she had clothes for when 6 to 9 months, all the months of clothes. She had books, she had her bed, she had her car seat. And Terry was belittling me about how big her car seat was, but the health department gave it to her. So, I mean, it couldn't have been that bad if the health department gave it to her.
So you're receiving resources from an adoption agency, or the parents that's thinking they're going to adopt Arienna, and all of a sudden you change your mind. How did that work out? You receive the money, they're paying for stuff, and then you also keep the baby. How did that work out?
I told them, I didn't tell them that I was going to leave, but I guess they knew that I was going to leave. And they said, if you ever feel that you change your mind about the situation, we're not going to help you and your kids get back home, but they have programs out here in Utah that'll help you and your kids get back home. So I reached out to an agency right around the corner from the apartments that the adoption agency had put us in, and they made sure we had got back home.
You get back home with Arienna, and Arienna comes up missing. You find out your daughter is missing. She's 3 months old. What is the first thing you do once you realize she's missing?
I go into shock. I go into panic mode because I'm thinking like, I need to call the police, but how did my daughter just go missing in a 5-minute time period? Like, that's too fast for my daughter to come up missing. I didn't hear anybody come to my house. Like, where did my daughter go? So I got kind of like panicky. I start thinking like, dang, I'm Black. The police gonna automatically pin this on me. So I'm scared. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm scared, and I'm like, I'm shocked. Like, where's my daughter? At the same time, and I go down the hill to the store for a cigarette because I don't want to call the police. I don't want to call the police because I'm like, they're going to try to put this on me. They're going to try to set me up. I was paranoid, and I'm trying to put it together like, dang.
If your daughter is missing, you go in the room and you go in your bedroom and now your infant baby is missing. First reaction, we run around the house, we waking the kids. Anybody seen the baby? Nobody's seen the baby. You look at your doors locked, your windows not broken.
I did all of that.
Right.
I did all of that.
That's what I'm saying. You did all of that. You see that the windows not broken. You see that the baby's not in the house. The other kids sleep. You wake them up. They don't know where the baby at. Your front door is still locked. What made you unlock your front door, knowing that your newborn baby is missing, and instead of calling the police, walk down the hill and go get a cigarette to smoke?
My door had been open because I was on the phone arguing with her alleged father that night. I don't normally leave my door open, but because I thought he was coming over that night, that's when I unlocked my door. After her godmother left and told me to lock the door, I locked the door. But he said that he was coming back. When he was texting me, he said that he was coming back. That's why I don't have the texts to prove to everybody why they steady asking me, why did you have your door open? I don't have them texts to say that, oh, I'm coming over, or I'm just playing, I'm not outside, after she's already gone.
You didn't reach out to the phone company, ask them to pull your phone log, because they do keep the records.
No, I didn't reach out to them to get that done.
You go get
because but I didn't think to get that done, but for my sanity, for me, I should have got that done, because it's like he making me look crazy. He have all these text messages. He making it look like I'm obsessed with him, that, just all kind of stuff. And I have nothing to back up what I'm saying. So everybody is steady coming after me. But this is not about what everybody thinks. This is about, where is my daughter? Why did the police tell me that just based off your Facebook page, Terry has your child, and all you have to do is stay silent and be quiet about it, and we'll return your baby back on Christmas, their deadline holidays. It was like a game to them, like they were playing a game with my daughter. It's because they said that they were connected to his wife's family, and they said that the alleged father was connected to her family and my family as well, and they were the middle piece between that. So I'm thinking like, okay, y'all are the middle piece between that. What do y'all mean? Like, the only thing I can think of is because the government is corrupt and they got all these organized crime going on with human sex trafficking, pedophile rings, even drugs, sex rings, all kind of stuff. So the only thing I can think of is, are you saying that Terry sells drugs and he's connected to my family and they sell drugs and it's all through her family? What are you trying to tell me? Like, make it make sense. So that's the only thing I could come up with. And when I left out the room, he did like this. So I'm thinking like, and I was like, so can I get on an interview? Can I do a news interview? Can I get on and speak about my daughter when I'm in my right headspace?
Let's
was
go
like,
back. Let's go back because I'm still here. You walk down the hill, you'll get a cigarette and smoke a cigarette. What made you go walk down the hill and walk over to the store and leave your other 4 kids in the house alone while you go get a cigarette and your baby is missing?
Because come on now, because come on now, I'm on a spiritual journey with the Lord. Either the Lord has something to do with my baby being missing, or the person I noticed, her father, came in my house and took her. Ain't nobody come in my house that I didn't know and come in and take my baby. Let's be for real about this. Like I wasn't talking to nobody else.
I'm trying to be for real. I'm trying to be
for real. Sorry, Miss Rhonda.
I know. It's cool. We're good. We're good over here. I'm trying to be for real. I got 4 kids. No, you're good, baby. I'm really,
I ain't trying to come at you like that, but I'm black and I'm from the hood. I'm from the street. And ain't nobody coming out.
Hey, listen. I'm from the project, so I talk. We good over here. Let me tell you this.
Right.
I had 4 kids. If I would wake up and one of my kids missing, the last thing I would thought about was a cigarette. And the first thing I would not have done was left the other ones in the house where one just came up missing. My first reaction would have been calling 911. What made you walk to the store and go get a cigarette and leave the other kids in the house where one child just came up missing?
I can agree with that. My mental state wasn't right then. I got a missing child. I'm thinking that the police are against me. They finna frame me for some stuff that I didn't do, and they probably still finna frame me because basically I'm speaking my truth about the situation. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm scared. Not only am I missing a child and I'm in shock and I'm devastated and my mental state is not right, I got all these thoughts and emotions going through my head. Like, I don't want to call the police for real, but I know I have to because where's my daughter? But ain't nobody else come in my house and take my daughter. So off the top, I'm thinking that her alleged father has her. Like that's always gonna be stuck in my head that he has her, and nobody can take that from me. Nobody can give me another theory. Nobody can give me another story or anything. I'm always gonna feel the way that I feel about the situation. I was in a love triangle. He somehow, some way, if my Lord Savior Jesus Christ didn't come and didn't have nothing to do with this, he came in the house and he took my baby. And I don't care how he feel about it. He can say, he can make his threats, or he gonna come kill me, but it doesn't make sense. Who else came in my house and took my baby? It's not making make sense to me. It's not making sense because he was the only person I was going back and forth with that I was claiming him to be the father. The other man that I was sleeping with before him, I thought it was his, but then when I went to the doctor and they gave me them dates, the dates added right back up to Terry. It did not add up to the man, and I couldn't do the man like that because I knew the man was a good man and the man was gonna support me and my baby because he was supporting me and my 4 kids that wasn't his. I didn't want or need for anything when I was messing with this man. You know what I'm saying? So I could have went back to the man and just lived my life normally, knowing that Terry didn't want me, but now I have a whole baby involved and this man is not the baby. Were you
totally in love with Terry?
At one point I was.
Did you want this baby? Did you want this baby Terry, even though you knew it was a possibility it was the other man's child?
I didn't really care whose baby it was for real.
Were you infatuated with Terry?
No, I was not.
Did you become bitter and angry, and that rage because Terry was not accepting that child as his?
No.
Did you snap?
No.
Did you snap?
No. Are
you willing to take, if I pay for a lie detector test for you, are you willing to take the lie detector test?
Sure will.
Well, we're going to provide that services because we would like to know the truth and we would like to see if you tell the truth or not, because it's hard for people to believe in your town that your child...
Of course people wouldn't believe that of course, people is not believing it, especially when somebody orchestrated this whole thing. When somebody orchestrated it, of course they wouldn't believe it. But we all know government officials, police officials. We all know they are crooked. They are corrupt. We all know the government can be corrupt. He says that he have a whole paper from the court saying he's not the father. I also know that document didn't look. It ain't look official to me. I also know that it could have been a fraudulent document. I know that her family, his wife's family, has power and has money.
Let me ask you this, since we're here talking about that. If the baby went missing and there was no blood test, then how is anybody saying he is, or how is anybody saying he's not the father?
They're saying that supposedly I'm the mother. I had Arienna. I didn't sign over for no umbilical cord to be safe, so I don't even understand how they did a DNA test unless they did it with the little thing from the hospital that they put the DNA thing on in case something happens to your child. Unless they put it on the little swab little thing that I gave them, unless they got DNA testing from that.
So
if you go back,
who supposed to do the DNA test?
I guess they saying that they did it, but if you go back and read the articles, now once that I did not giving them my daughter's DNA sample, the little tracking thing they give you from the hospital on the I didn't. If you can read the articles, if I hurt my child, why would I hand over samples of my daughter's DNA to the police? Why would I do that? If I kill my daughter and I harm my daughter, why would I hand over everything I have of her so they can find my child? Just doesn't make sense. The only thing I'm wrong for is going to the store getting a cigarette. That's the only thing I'm wrong for. And like I said, don't hold me accountable. You can judge me for that, but everybody's mental state is not where everybody else's mental state at, especially if you haven't gone through missing a child. If you haven't went through that, you can't,
Did the state ever come in and take your other kids from you during this process?
Yes, they did. They removed them and gave them to my family. And then after they did their investigation, they gave them back.
Were you ever placed under arrest?
Yeah, no. I was just in interrogation for 24 hours.
What do you think happened to your child?
Y'all don't want to hear my story, what happened to my child. Because
I do.
Because I was put up in a love triangle. I really think that, this baby is made to be looked at like she's like, it's made for everybody to believe, especially me, that my daughter is dead while they got her somewhere off and they finna change her name and she gotta live a whole nother life. And then it's like a Lifetime movie. So she'll come find me when she's 20 years old and she'll be looking for me and say, where have you been at all these years?
So you think she's still alive and they had her change her name? Of course. They say Terry, someone alleged that Terry is up here on the live.
That what?
Terry is up here on the live.
I don't see nobody on the live, but I'm just saying.
They say Terry, because I'm talking to you, but they're telling me Terry is here. Terry asked for his side of the story to be told. Okay, guys, give Terry my phone number, 757-527-9043. Tell Terry my phone number is 757-527-9043. Terry, give me a call right now. Once again, my phone number is 757-527-9043. Terry, if you are out there, give me a phone call right now. 757-527-9043. We got Terry want to call in. Terry, if you're here, the number is 757-527-9043. 757-527-9043. Terry, if you're here, call. You say you want your side of the story told. I'm right here. My phone line is open, and I'm waiting for your phone call.
What side of the story? His side of the story. Mallory got his side of the story.
What did Terry say?
everything that Mallory been advocating, you know, basically that I harmed my baby because I was obsessed with Terry. That's their story that they got on. That's what's going on in their group chat or whatever. I don't know. You have to ask them.
How do you feel about Mallory alleging that you harmed your baby, and she been trying to prove that you harmed your baby for the last 4 years? So she said she's not going to stop until she proved that you killed your child.
Excuse me?
How do you feel about Mallory saying that she know you harmed your baby, and she been following this story for almost 4 years, and she's not going to stop until she can prove what happened to your child?
See, that's the thing. Like, I could have sworn you just said something whole totally different.
Yeah, she
Lord
said, yeah,
have
I
mercy.
did. I said she can prove that you killed your child. That's what,
Right.
That what, you know.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Just keep it real. Keep it like you first said it, you know.
Yeah, I'm keeping it real. I don't want to be rude to you, but you know, because I'm very concerned about your feelings. So I try to make.
No, don't be concerned about my feelings. Don't sugarcoat anything you gotta say. If that's what you wanted to say, you keep it exactly like that, because you can't. None of y'all can hurt my feelings. At the end of the day, I'm not gonna be hurt.
Baby, see,
and with Terry getting on the top,
wait a minute, don't get offended. Wait a minute. I'm just repeating what you brought up, Mallory name. So you the one said Mallory and them said that. So I repeated.
I'm just saying that the story that I know that she has out there. I'm just saying the story that I know that she has out there. At the end of the day, the story I know that Mallory has out there. That's what I'm saying.
The story that you said.
Statement that she killed her baby. Any statements that anyone has made have been stories that Jessica has told. That she sold her baby. That she gave her baby to Terry. Even saying that her baby flew away.
Did you say your baby flew away?
Yeah. Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
What do you mean? Who's this? Is this Mallory or who's this?
This is Shonda.
Hey, Shonda, what do you mean by your baby flew away?
Because I'm so in touch with my spirituality. Like I've had experiences with telekinesis, all kind of stuff, like stuff y'all wouldn't be able to do. So you know what I'm saying? I don't like talking about my spirituality. Well, I don't like talking about my spirituality with just anybody, because people mad because they can't do it. People mad because they can't go to different dimensions. They can't move objects with their mind. They can't fly and stuff like that. People are mad because they can't do it. So at the end of the day, I don't want to talk about my spirituality with nobody, because that's one thing you ain't gonna mess with me about. It's my spirituality.
In your spirituality, why haven't you used your spirituality and your gifts to bring your daughter back? Manifest your daughter back with your spirituality.
I'm not higher power. I'm not higher power. At the end of the day, I'm not higher power. You gotta go to God and ask him why he not doing that. You gotta go to Christ and ask him why he not doing that. I'm not God at the end of the day. Don't get mad. Stop hating. Stop hating. Stop hating. At the end of the day, stop hating. You hating. You mad. Because you can't move stuff with your mind.
Excuse me, Jesse, can we hear what she got to say? Because this was what she's alleging, Jesse. She's alleging that she is a spirit. She got spiritual gifts too. And Shonda, can you tell us about your spiritual gifts?
I am a tarot card reader, a spiritual advisor, born with my gifts. Okay, any one of you can go and find me on an Intuitive Spiritual Readings Facebook group and see exactly who I am. And I have done many card pulls for this case. And I just want Jesse to come out and tell the truth. You stated to me that you are able to connect with your daughter through your spirituality. So
and I have seen her. I have seen her in my vision.
4 years old.
And I have seen her in my vision.
Why have you not used
her? It's not up to me to go get her. I've seen her in my vision. She's reaching for me, telling me to find her. I see her. I communicate with my daughter through my visions. I have seen her. Like, y'all coming for me. Y'all don't know what I'm experiencing with my daughter. Please don't come for me. You don't know me like that. Like, I'm a very spiritual person. I don't have to know you, but I know what you said to me. And I don't have to play to do what I do, though. I don't have to play to do what I do.
I help people find missing people. I've helped many people find missing family members.
Girl, bye. I don't even know why I'm here wasting my time with y'all. Bye. Go bye. At the end of the day, bye. Bye. Bye.
Jessica, Don't let them get you out. Go ahead. She hung up now. She got mad and hung up.
Of course. We expected for her to do that because this is just another way of her to use the insanity plea. She told you that she would do a lie detector knowing that she is on heavy medication and that the lie detector test will come out inconclusive because it already has. She is doing everything in her power to misguide and mislead the people. She knows what happened to Arienna.
Why do you think she got so upset when they said she got really emotional? Her whole demeanor changed when the name Terry came up, and he
because
was on.
She is still in love with Terry, obsessed with Terry. Mallory has poems that her and Terry grew up together. They did not just meet each other randomly and start messing around with each other. And the other potential father, is Terry's first cousin. She's not telling everybody exactly what it is. She was sleeping with family members.
I seen for many a times I seen her demeanor, switch, and I try to keep her, love off.
She was just live a few days ago in a public library, yelling and screaming like a maniac, walking down the street all about Terry. She made a statement, and this is what stuck out to me as a mother. She has 5 children. Her statement, and she said that she has her children back.
We lost her. Guys, this is a weird story right here. What do you believe? Do you think Jessie had something to do with her daughter Arienna's disappearance? Do you think Jessie was so in love with Terry, and the fact that Terry did not accept her child as his, that she harmed their own child? Or do you think that Terry did something to that child? This is a very interesting subject and story as we watch and watch Jessie unfold right before our eyes. We watched her go from being an innocent person to being like some type of evil spirit came over her and became very aggressive. Do you think the night that she alleged that Terry came over to see the baby, and that was his first time ever seeing the baby, and he did not accept that child as his, that she went into rage and harmed that child? Do you believe what she said with the multiple stories and the excuses that she gave us? 1 minute, I think she's trying to come back. 1 minute, she said the baby was in the living room on the couch by herself. Then the next minute, she said the baby was in the living room with the other siblings. And then the next minute, when I said the kids was old enough to tell her what happened to the baby, she states that the baby was in the bedroom. What do you think? Do you think if your child go missing, you would get up and go walk down the hill and go get a cigarette and smoke a cigarette before you call 911? And if one of your kids went missing, would you leave your other 4 kids in the house where one of your kids just became missing from? Do you believe Jessie's story? Do you believe Jessie might have been suffering from postpartum depression and harmed their own child, and now she has actually lost it a little bit, where she really believed that someone came in and took her child, or she really believed her child flew away? Who says their child flew away, and she know her child flew away because she's in contact with her spiritual being?
Please leave your message.
Her phone must have went dead. What was Jessie's number? This is really weird, guys. This is really weird. Mallory, she's got a lot of anger and a lot of bitterness built up against Mallory, because Mallory, basically, in my opinion, is not letting this story go, and Mallory is on top of everything. And so Therefore, I think she got a lot of bitterness and resentment towards Mallory. Let me see, can I get in contact with Mallory?
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice.
My phones. Let me get in contact with Jason. Trying to keep this light charged up. Shonda phone went dead. Nobody's answering now. Let's see, can we get in contact with Mrs. Sheena?
Hello.
Hi, Sheena. Did you hear the last conversation we had?
Yes, thank you for adding me. One, her story is all displaced. She's all displaced. But every time we talk to her, or Mallory talks to her, let me say that because we don't talk to her. I don't talk to her. Mallory talks to her. Every time Mallory talks to her, she's all displaced. Her story is. Mallory never met Terry. Mallory never met Jesse. When she tried to see Jesse, Jesse took off and ran from her. I guess, like Mallory said, she thought Mallory was going to do something to her, but Mallory wasn't. Mallory just wanted to talk to her, you know? And as you can tell when you said Terry's name, she got real upset. Mallory had voice messages about her, the things she was saying, like she wanted to suck it from the back. If my child is missing, my tail can't get wet. It's dry like a prune.
Right. So while her child
Excuse me.
missing, she's alleging that she want to have all sets on him. Allegedly.
You should hear the alleged. It's her. You should hear the messages. She talk about, one minute she crying, oh, I'm so sorry I lied on you, please, no, please. Then the next minute is she'll hang up that call and she'll call back. I miss you and I've been thinking about you and you haven't touched me in a while and let me suck you from the back. Honey, my baby is missing. If we have any conversation, where's Arienna? Can you help me find Arienna? But it won't be about sex. I would have never went to go get a cigarette. My whole house getting up.
Right, like, and then
we not stand up in here. We not stand up in here tonight. My baby missing. I don't care what the police say. I was sat in that interrogation room for 16 days to find my child and interrogate me. I don't care if it was 16 years ago. The story would have never changed. I would have told you we ate dinner at 8:30 that night. I gave this baby a bath at 8:15. I gave that one a bath at 8:30. This one laid down. The one, my 10-year-old, she ain't sleeping no 10:30. They ain't sleep.
Right. And then it went from they was just getting home from school, then it went to they was asleep. It went from she was not in the living room. The baby went to sleep in the living room. And I was like, you let the baby there by herself? No, her sister and brothers was there. And I was like, what's their ages? Then she was like, oh, there was 10. So I'm like, well, they was old enough to tell you what happened. No, she was in the bedroom. It's like whenever she get caught up in something,
she changed her story. Yes, and then another thing, she told 2 new lies tonight. 2 new lies. We never ever heard her say the godmama told her to lock the door. When did the godmama tell you to lock the door? Because the only conversation that we ever heard you say was you didn't lock the door that night. Because usually that's around the time that Terry come back. And Terry and Andrew is the same person, by the way. I see the comments. I was in the comments. Andrew Terry is his name. When you military, you go by Terry.
Also, I heard another I ain't gonna say lie because I don't know her. Something that didn't add up because it went from one time she said the godmother was at the house and saying lock the door. Then she switched from being the godmother to she said it was her sister. You know, but I didn't want to keep saying too much too, because I wanted to keep her talking. So I wanted to,
Yeah.
I wanted to play the good cop, bad cop type of person. So
Oh, baby, you do your job. No, can I speak on that though about the godmom?
Yes, ma'am.
Let's if we gonna talk about the truth, let's talk about the truth, okay? The godmom owned the so-called house that Jesse was living in when Arienna went missing. When Arienna went missing, they had people, the community, put up flowers, balloons, and everything. The godmom came over there, went, oh, move this up, get away. No, we can't have this in front of the house. That's bringing distractions. Okay? It was a locked door in that house. Jesse has even said something before about Arienna being locked away or something. She talks crazy, so we don't know. We be trying to get out the pieces that mean something that we know or whatever. So anyway, when all that happened, I guess the godmom told Jesse, you got to move because you bring it too much on the block. You cause the block too hot, basically.
Right.
And she gutted out the whole entire house.
Who did? She gutted out the whole entire house?
Gutted out the whole house.
Why would you think she would do that?
I don't know. It's a lot of things that, like, not being funny, Miss Rhoda. That's why we reached out to you. That's why we reached out to platforms. There's so much in this story that, not being funny, she knows. She is the key freaking witness. It's like, hey, our kids live in this community. Right. I care about mine, and I wish somebody would come up in my house and take mine.
What happened to baby Arienna?
She killed baby Arienna because she was mad at Terry because he chose to be with his wife and not be with her. And she might have did have postpartum depression after having the baby. I suffered from that too before, and I did not know I was going through it. When I had my second child, that's when I realized, wait a minute, I didn't have these feelings. Wait a minute, and I spoke to a doctor, but I didn't harm my child. I had crazy thoughts.
I was looking at first I thought she was at work. Now I'm like, well, ain't no way she at work, and people gonna lie.
She live in a shelter. One minute she in a shelter, next minute she in a mental institute. When it plays on her mental, not being funny, I never did no harm to nobody, and I heard that it do play on your mental. You know how you have highs and lows. One minute you feel good about it, and next minute you're down. I guess on her down, she go check into the mental institute, and she calls Mallory and starts talking to Mallory. And Mallory, her best friend, her best friend, her and Mallory got that love, like Mallory said, I love it. Hey, I'm your best friend, and I'm your work enemy. Then you want to fight me, kill me, do all that. And I say, okay, and I still love you. I want to just know where Arienna at.
Right. I just had Jason or Mallory ask me to call them back. What would you like to say to Jessie after listening to her story?
Jessie, I know you watching. I know you listening. I know you ain't on me. Let me tell you this. You're not going to sleep, honey. You're not going to have no sleep, no peace, no nothing until you deal with that demon of your child. Whatever you did to your child, just not for it. You're going to be able to eat. You're going to be able to sleep. You're going to be able to do a lot because your soul going to be at rest. As far as you tapping in with the spirits or whatever, if you can lead and do all this, what is it, psychokinesis or whatever she said, tap your baby back in. What you do with her?
Right.
It was only you, the godmom, the kids in the house. The kids ain't do nothing to that baby. Right. The godmom, you is the two prime suspects. She gutted out the house. You allowed it. When that moved out that house, when my baby went missing, but Jesus alone. Amen. So until you clear your soul and you get clear with that, then baby, do what you got to do. Take that lie detector test. It'll be the first of many that you do take, or that you did take. You took one and it came inconclusive. Get off them meds and let that demon that you did to your child, that demon that's on your back that you're not resting, that'll haunt you, and get that test. And that all be all. If you didn't do nothing, we as the community will apologize. But until then, baby, we ain't got nothing to apologize. We owe Arienna this, and you do too.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic.
I'm trying to call y'all back, but I can't get through. And I need this phone to be on it. Let's see, was it Jason? How you doing, Jason?
Good, Miss Rose. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How you feel about the second interview where Jessie came up here and said she didn't kill her child, and people just blaming her for no reason, and that her child flew away?
I mean, my opinion is that, you know, something obviously is off with Miss Jessie. She becomes more upset with the Mitchell and Terry than she is with the old child that's been missing for 4 years. You know, what I feel like is, you know, you spoke to a couple people here on the phone, including myself. You know, we are advocates in the community, and surrounding communities that's going to, you know, keep applying pressure and keep working to solve what's going on here. You know, because not only has, in my opinion, has his mother let down her child, you know, the Roanoke Police Department has also let down this child.
That's big facts right there. The Roanoke Police has dropped the ball on this one.
Yeah, and you know, for a child to be missing for 4 years is, you know, ridiculous. Especially a child that's 3 months old. You know, it didn't. You know, a 3-month-old child don't just walk away. You know, a 3-month child is not going to be mobile in terms of, you know, being able to just disappear from within a home. So,
can I ask you this? Is it normal for a woman to take a bath with a 4-year-old?
I would say no. I mean, not at my house. Let me say that.
I mean, I know when our babies like infants, and you might put your baby on the hip, you tell the baby father to pass you the baby, you put the baby on the hip, and you pass it back to the baby father. But a 4-year-old, what grown woman is in a tub with a 4-year-old child? Somebody trying to come in. Jessie coming back in.
Yeah. I mean, that part doesn't make sense. It's a lot that doesn't make sense, but you know, the main thing is, you know, it needs to be known. You know, and I want to say it. You know, Mallory has really been standing up for and advocating for trying to figure out what happened. You know, no matter what it may be that did happen, irregardless, you know, she's just trying to put herself in a position to figure out what happened and bring some closure to this situation. You know, she's become invested. You know, I've become invested. Several people have become invested in figuring out what happened. You know, and that's the only position we had. It's not a matter of pointing the finger at no one. It's a matter of, you know, a 4-year-old child is missing, and as parents, that is concerning. You know, and trying to figure out, you know, bring some accountability to the situation, and no one should be upset with that.
Right. And I'm not upset with that. I get upset when people start to act like they know what went on in my apartment that night, or act like they know what happened to my daughter and they was not there. I at the end of the day, I am Arienna Day's mother. Nobody don't know my pain. Nobody can bear this pain that I'm feeling right now. And then to have the detectives, you know, take your pain and, you know, say the whole world or your city is involved with your pain. It's like, you know, don't nobody know what it's like to hold the whole world on your shoulder. Don't nobody know what it's like when you got a detective that's supposed to be working your daughter's case telling you that this is way bigger than your daughter disappearing. This is, I don't know. I guess he was saying, I don't know. My daughter is mixed up with the cartels. I don't know. That's why I'm on this live, because I want to know. I want to try to piece the pieces together. I don't care what nobody think about me. I was wrong for going to the store getting a cigarette. I gotta live with that. But I swear, I wouldn't hurt my baby. If I hurt my baby, I will go down there and turn myself in personally, so everybody can have some peace. Not just everybody, but me, myself, and my kids, so my family can have some peace.
Go ahead, Jason.
Can I ask you a quick question?
He want to ask you a question. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Jason.
Yeah.
an interesting piece that she just said, in terms of she wouldn't hurt her kids, or she wouldn't hurt this child. But, I'm a researcher, and through that, I discovered that you have child abuse charges from 2010 and 2013. So
who has child abuse? Who has child abuse charges? Who has child abuse charges?
You do.
No, I don't. I ain't never in my life went to jail. That's what I'm saying. That's why I don't like being on this live, because from when my daughters went missing anyway, it's like the whole community teamed up against me anyway. I had death threats and all kind of stuff. I don't like being on this live. I feel like everybody is on a side that they shouldn't be anyway, but I don't give a damn whose side nobody on. And if cussing makes me look bad, then so be it. Because it seems like, I got people coming against me. Like you saying, I got a child abuse charge on my record. I ain't never been in jail a day in my life for no motherfucking child abuse. Like, I don't know whose name you pulled up on that, but it wasn't mine. It wasn't Jessica Renee Day's baby. Check that. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, and then you said, Miss, excuse me, but this about Arienna. Don't be asking me no questions. Why don't y'all go down there to the police station and ask them some questions? Y'all steady asking me questions that I can't answer for y'all. If I kill my baby, I will be in jail. And they probably coming for me today or tomorrow because I'm on here talking about what they told me, but I don't give a damn. Find my baby. Child abuse charges. Get the fuck on with that bullshit. You sound like you work for somebody.
I'm reading it. It says child restraint. That's what it says.
I don't know what that is. That's not me. That could be somebody else. I can assure you, that's not me. And then I had this broad just come up in my inbox. If you on here watching, stay out my inbox. If you ain't talking about how to get my baby back home, don't come in my inbox popping shit at me. If you can't come to me in the streets to my face, don't come in my inbox popping shit to me. Come to my face and pop shit. At the end of the day, this live is about my baby. Stop coming to me. Stop coming for my throat. If y'all want answers, get together and establish a motherfucking protest and go down there in front of the motherfucking office, in front of Roanoke Police Department office, and establish a protest and demand for me to be in jail. All y'all, since y'all feel that I killed my baby, demand a protest. Go down there and protest and demand for them to come and arrest me and lock me up so that my baby can get justice. If y'all think I did that, please do, and stay the fuck out my inbox.
Jason, you have a response to that?
I just.
No, if y'all want to let's get some problems resolved here. I want
to be able to hear him as well. Go ahead, Jason.
The only issue I have is just like it's all this real substantial energy at this moment, but where was that energy when this took place? Because the way I see it is this child been missing now for 4 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, sure have. And if you haven't walked it, don't like I said, you ain't walked it, so you can't begin to understand how I feel. So I'm not on here to answer why I didn't do this and why I didn't do this. Let's be on here to see how we can get some resolutions. Okay, y'all saying that I killed my baby. Y'all saying that I'm crazy. I'm crazy. No, listen. This is about Arienna Day at the end of the day. Let's get some resolution here. Let's solve this. Let's get this smoking. Let's get that smoke out there. If y'all so concerned about my baby and y'all think I killed my baby, go down there to the Roanoke Police Department, establish a protest, and demand for them to lock me up since y'all think I'm guilty. How about that, so Arienna can get her justice if y'all feel that way? Stop coming for me. Stop speaking on stuff y'all don't know. Let's get this baby home. Let's get my baby found. What can we do about it? Stop coming for me. Stop asking me questions about 4 years ago. What are we going to do about it today?
Where the fucking baby at, man? What happened to the baby? Straight up. What happened to the
Do
baby?
a protest. Do a protest. Demand for my arrest if y'all felt like I did something. Because I can't give y'all no answers and say where my baby is. Because if I could give y'all some answers, I would have my baby right now. I don't have my baby, so I can't give no answers. So start a motherfucking protest and demand for my motherfucking arrest. All y'all that want to come for me.
Wait a
All
minute,
y'all that want to come to me,
wait
get a motherfucking life, first of all. Get a life. And you done twisted up your motherfucking questions. You done asked me so motherfucking many times. It ain't even motherfucking funny. I don't even know why you won't even on here trying to come for my neck like that. That's why I didn't even want to talk to y'all motherfuckers, because that's what y'all try to do. Like y'all work for somebody or somebody. Y'all, find my baby.
Fuck you, bitch. Fuck you, bitch. No damn when this bitch ain't coming back for me.
You got something you want to say?
I got a lot I want to say. Do you got something you want to say? One thing about you, you got to check my record too, bitch. I've been locked up in the Croydon Hospital, and I just recently got in jail too. Okay, so don't fucking play with me. Okay, that's all I'm asking you. You gonna find one of them to play with, but I'm not that one you looking for. Get off my phone before I come to Roanoke. Get off my phone before I come to Roanoke. Look at your face change. You look like somebody that did something. Get off my phone, clown.